Los Angeles is about to welcome home a familiar face, but this homecoming isn't just about sweet family moments. No, Kelly Spencer's return could be part of a much bigger game, one orchestrated by none other than Steffy Forrester herself. Yes, the bold and the beautiful spoilers confirm it. Kelly is back, but Steffy isn't by her side. And when a Forrester moves her chess pieces, you can bet there's a strategy in play. The question is, what role does Kelly have in Steffy's master plan, and how will her arrival shake Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes? From August 11 through August 15, Sophia Paris will once again step into the role of Kelly Spencer, lighting up the Forrester mansion with her presence. But make no mistake, this isn't just a sweet family cameo. Kelly's reappearance happens at a very specific moment, and it's far from coincidental. In one upcoming scene, Kelly walks right into a quiet, emotionally charged exchange between her grandmother Taylor and her grandfather Ridge. Their eyes meet, words are exchanged in hushed tones, and then, the sound of small footsteps cuts through the tension. Kelly's arrival shifts the energy instantly, drawing their attention away from whatever was just building between them and centering it on her. Longtime viewers will remember that before leaving town, Steffy had asked Liam Spencer for permission to take Kelly with her on a trip. Even John Finnegan mentioned missing Steffy and the kids, confirming that Kelly had been traveling alongside her mother and her little brother, Hayes. But now, she's returned, earlier than expected. And whenever a return comes ahead of schedule in The Bold and the Beautiful, it raises questions. On the surface, there are easy answers, perfectly wholesome ones that any family would embrace. Maybe Kelly is simply coming home to prepare for school, making sure she's settled before classes begin. Or perhaps she's eager to spend time with her father, Liam, especially after the frightening period when his health was in jeopardy. But if you've watched enough soap opera twists, you know the truth. Timing is never an accident. Early returns mean the writers are setting something in motion, and every move, no matter how subtle, is part of a larger strategy. And when the person at the center of that strategy is a Forrester, the chances that this homecoming is purely innocent drop dramatically. That's why all eyes turn to Steffy. Even from miles away, she's a master at pulling strings, planting seeds, and influencing the emotional tides at Forrester Creations. If Kelly's arrival isn't just about family time, then what game is Steffy playing? With Jacqueline MacInnes Wood on maternity leave, Steffy can't be on screen to personally guide her parents toward reconciliation. But absence doesn't mean surrender, and if there's one thing we know about Steffy, it's her unwavering loyalty to Taylor and her determination to see her parents back together. That's where Kelly comes in. Sweet, innocent, and adored by both Ridge and Taylor, Kelly is the perfect emotional ambassador. She doesn't need to deliver dramatic speeches or make bold declarations. Her very presence can melt defenses. Steffy doesn't have to tell her daughter to convince anyone. She only needs to let Kelly be herself. The rest will happen naturally. Kelly skips into the room, smiling brightly, telling her grandparents how happy she is to see them together. Maybe she gushes about an imaginary wedding or how she can't wait to toss petals down the aisle as the flower girl. To Kelly, it's just a child's excitement. But to Ridge, those words carry weight, pressing on his guilt over his lingering feelings for Brooke and making him hesitate to end things with Taylor. This is the kind of move Steffy excels at: indirect, disarming, and quietly powerful. Even from afar, she can still tip the balance in her mother's favor. The Forrester mansion is quiet, sunlight spilling through the tall windows. Taylor and Ridge sit close, their conversations soft and personal. Perhaps they're reminiscing about the years they've shared. Perhaps they're cautiously imagining a future together. There's a warmth between them, a fragile intimacy that could tip either way. Then, the sound of quick, light footsteps echoes through the hall. In an instant, Kelly bursts in, her face glowing, her arms outstretched as she runs to hug them both. Her laughter fills the room, breaking whatever tension lingered and replacing it with pure, childlike joy. She chatters excitedly about how, "Mommy says you two are perfect together," or, "I can't wait to be your flower girl when you get married." Ridge freezes mid-breath. Taylor's eyes soften, her smile widening as she soaks in the moment. And suddenly, the air shifts. For Ridge, this isn't just a visit from his granddaughter. It's a reminder of decades of shared history, of children raised and memories built. Even if his heart is slowly drifting back toward Brooke, the idea of dismantling Kelly's perfect vision of her family feels unbearably cruel. And here's where Steffy's brilliance shows. She doesn't need to be there in person, raising her voice or making demands. Instead, she lets Kelly's innocence speak louder than any speech she could give. That innocence becomes the emotional anchor that keeps Ridge tethered to Taylor, if only a little longer. Ridge Forrester has always been a man torn between two worlds, Brooke on one side, Taylor on the other. Recently, his bond with Brooke has been rekindled, especially after her near-tragic accident in Italy pulled them together once again. Those old feelings have been creeping back in, threatening to undo whatever stability he has with Taylor. But every time he edges toward making a definitive choice, something happens to stall him. And now, Kelly's early return could be that something. Her presence doesn't just bring happiness. It carries the weight of expectation, the pull of family tradition, and the image of a united clan that Ridge has spent years trying to preserve. It's one thing to let Taylor down gently. It's another entirely to look into the bright, hopeful eyes of your granddaughter and destroy her dream of seeing her grandparents together. That kind of emotional pressure isn't fleeting, it lingers, making Ridge second-guess himself every time he thinks about leaving. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, a few weeks of hesitation can completely change the trajectory of a love story. But Kelly's return doesn't just affect Ridge and Taylor. It could ripple out, destabilizing other relationships along the way. If Ridge delays ending things with Taylor, Brooke could begin to feel that familiar frustration boiling to the surface. She's been patient before, but patience has limits. This delay could reignite the long-standing Forrester-Logan rivalry, with subtle jabs at family gatherings and not-so-subtle competition for Ridge's attention. On the other side, Taylor could take Kelly's return as a sign that her daughter still believes in her relationship with Ridge and is willing to take steps to protect it. That belief might embolden Taylor, giving her the confidence to make bigger, bolder moves to secure Ridge's heart. She might plan public moments with Ridge, moments designed to show everyone, including Brooke, that the Forrester family is united. Those public displays of unity wouldn't just be symbolic. They could deliver a deeper emotional blow to Brooke, especially if she feels her connection to Ridge being paraded over by a romantic rival who now seems to have the support of their granddaughter. The real genius of this storyline is in the contrast. Kelly is the most innocent person in the room, yet she may become the most influential player in this entire love triangle. She isn't old enough to scheme, yet her mere words and presence could shift the balance of decades-long romantic battles. And Steffy's absence doesn't diminish her influence, it changes her methods. This is the quiet, chess-like side of Steffy Forrester. Strategic moves made without fanfare, designed to have maximum emotional impact without a single confrontation. By sending Kelly home early, Steffy could be ensuring that Ridge's focus stays rooted firmly in the family he shares with Taylor, subtly reinforcing the bond without him even realizing it's happening. If that's the case, then this isn't just a sweet family reunion. It's the opening move in a longer, more calculated game. One that gives Steffy the time and space she needs to return to LA herself, and finish what she started. So now, I leave you with the question every bold and the beautiful fan should be asking. Is Kelly's return truly just a warm, innocent visit home? Or is she, whether she realizes it or not, the key piece in Steffy Forrester's carefully hidden master plan. If Steffy did set this in motion, how long can such a subtle strategy hold? Can Ridge really keep up the image of a united family with Taylor when Brooke Logan is still standing in the wings, watching, waiting, and ready to strike the moment an opening appears? Think about it. One little girl's presence could become the most powerful force in this decades-long tug-of-war. And when innocence collides with manipulation, the fallout can be both heartbreaking and explosive. I want to hear from you. Do you believe Kelly is unknowingly being used to keep Ridge and Taylor together? Or do you think this is simply a sweet twist of fate with no strings attached? Drop your boldest theories in the comments. I'll be reading and responding to as many as I can. And while you're here, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, so you're always the first to know when the next twist drops. Because in the bold and the beautiful, the most dangerous moves often hide behind the most innocent smiles, and Kelly's smile might just be the sharpest of them all.